Tom here from FireYourBoss.xyz. Do you suffer from erectile dysfunction? I was just kidding, that's not what this is about.
They say you learn when you ask questions searching for answers. You don't learn when you're making statements and just telling what you think you know.
So I'm gonna ask you 3 questions because I'm a spiritual gangster like that. Just 3 for you to actually ask yourself and then answer for yourself too. Because it just might be the thing, these 3 questions on purpose, it could be the thing to jolt your mind in a way that, oh my God, now you're finally finding answers to your biggest problems and also figuring out ways to achieve your biggest flippin' dreams. How cool is that? These 3 questions are very tried and proven and all that hunky-dory stuff, so don't worry about if I'm wasting your time on something stupid. I'm not. But I like making statements. It's easy and comfortable because I no longer have to think or search for answers. And best of all, it's a perfect excuse to take offense when somebody questions my statements. Question number 1. What do you want? Write it down. I know most of you are not going to write it down, and most of you are broke off your ass, and not just financially. So write it down. Do you want money? Do you want freedom? Do you want better health? Do you want a better relationship with people in your life? What do you want? What's the result that you want? Write it down. Do you want to have more so that you can give more? Do you want to make a bigger impact on the planet in which we live? Are you mission driven and there's a cause your heart bleeds to be able to do more for if only you had more time and resources? And what do you want? Write it down. Question number 3. Yeah, you're right. I skipped number 2. What happened to question number 2? It's coming. I'm going to do it in this order for a very specific reason. Stick around. You'll find out what it is. Trust me. What are you going to do to get it? To achieve that result? To solve that problem? To accomplish that dream? To be able to give back more? To be able to, whatever the answer was to question number 1. What are you going to do? You don't know how to do it. You don't know how to get there. Okay, so what are you going to do to learn? What skills do you need to learn? What are you going to do to get those skills? You're shy. You're worried about what other people might think. You're worried if you're going to be disciplined enough to do the day-to-day things. Okay, so what are you going to do to emotionally and spiritually mature yourself? What are you going to do to be a spiritual gangster? You know what I'm saying? What are you going to do to be able to accomplish that goal, that result? What are you going to do to develop yourself? What are you going to do to help other people develop themselves? What are you going to do to get what you want? Write that shit down. Question number 2. Why do you want what you want? Let's talk. I'm there with you, one-on-one, looking at each other dead in our eyes, relaxed. Why do you want what you want? This is the most important of these 3 questions. Average thinking will say number 3 is the most important because that's when you get into the how am I gonna do it? Just tell me how. Average thinking people are broke off their asses in almost every way possible, if not every way possible. Yeah, okay, maybe I should listen. 19 out of 20 people live and die broke, and they live this facade life thinking that they're living an authentic life. And they actually have to depend on the federal government, friends and family as the main source of their income, or they're dead before the age of 65. And multiple chronic diseases that they have to take medications for, and all these other things. And those people are also the same people that act foolish and ignore things like write it down. So if you really truly skipped over writing down what you want, go back and do that. Don't be like most people. What's your vision? Why do you want what you want? Why is it important for you to reclaim your health, to solve a problem, to achieve a dream, to be able to give back more, to impact a planet that seems to be dying right now? Why are those things important to you? What's your vision look like? Who do you want to become? How do you want to be remembered? Here's something. I can't draw every possible scenario of what a dream or a vision is going to look like, but I'm going to paint a couple for you. And you just draw parallels to whatever that's going to mean for you, for your goals, and why they're important for you and your vision. So let's start with the giving one, shall we? Let's say you're like, normal people, in a good way normal, where your heart kind of breaks when you see people that can't even get food and they're kind of starving to death, or kids that are starving to death, ones that aren't even old enough to really do anything about it, especially the young ones. It breaks your heart. How can it not? You're a human being. You have feelings. Let's say one of your things is the city or the town where you live in, you want to obliterate starvation and poverty and all these things. Let's say you want to open up some sort of a soup kitchen, your own. You get to design it. It's going to be whatever you want it to be. How are people going to be greeted when they walk into your building? How are people going to be treated? What are they going to look like with the light in their eyes when they're given hope? What's going to happen when they're being fed? They're being sheltered. They have a place to sleep, a place to bathe. They've got access to resources for free about whatever they need to be able to maybe find housing or to get a job or to learn some new skills, all these kinds of things. What's that going to be like for all those people, and how's that going to make you feel? What's it going to be like for the people that you offer positions to work there, this nonprofit, just to be fulfilled, because that's what fulfills them, and now you're able to supply that demand as well. What's all that going to be like? What's your building going to look like inside, on the outside? What kind of an impact is it going to have in your community? And what's it going to be like when you inspire somebody else to do the same thing in maybe another community, one that's up the road from you, or even in a different state? What's that going to be like? So that could be your vision that you paint for what you're going to do as far as feeding people who might be starving to death and giving them a place to sleep, giving them some nourishment, some security, giving them resources to be able to build up their skills to go get a job, and resources for housing and all these other things. What is that going to do for you? How awesome are you going to feel? And when you see the light in their eyes, that's a big one. And they got hope. And they send you thank you cards and phone calls and just saying thanks because nobody else gave me a shot. You did. How's that going to make you feel? All right, so let's say you've got some traveling dreams. You want to go places. Hawaii, let's say Hawaii. So just imagine yourself getting on that airplane. What's it going to feel like arriving at the airport knowing that next stop is Hawaii? Those butterflies in your stomach. How about when your plane lands and you can see the islands and you get off the plane and immediately you're laid? I'm so glad I took a shower. Or maybe it's this new oil I put on my neck that they like. Mind out of the gutter. You're laid in that, the Polynesians, the culture thing. They're giving you the lei of flowers that goes around your neck. And they're fresh flowers too, by the way. What's that going to smell like? What are they going to look like? How about those waterfalls in Hawaii that you've always wanted to see? If that's what you want to see, draw your own parallels. What's that going to be like? How about when your picture is taken of you in the waterfalls or standing next to the waterfalls or whatever? How are you going to pose? What's it going to look like? How about the smile on your face? How about you want to treat your kids to a trip of a lifetime? You want to take them somewhere really cool. And some place they've dreamed of going, but maybe you just haven't had the money or the time. You couldn't get the time off of work, so maybe you don't want to have a job anymore, but you want to have your freedom and your money. What is all that stuff going to look like? How about your kids when their faces light up because they get to have you around more often, or going on this trip again, and the family pictures that are going to come from it, the experiences. A lot of you, especially if you follow my stuff, you love the freedom aspect. Most of you watching this would love to be able to fire your boss, so to speak, like my website, fireyyourboss.xyz. Okay, let's go with that. If you don't like your boss, how cool is it going to be if you show up and say, you're fired? The look on your boss's face when you say, you're fired, looking at him or her dead in his or her eyes, you're fired. What are they going to say? What's the dumbfounded look they're going to have on their face? Or maybe you've got a really cool boss and you're just, what's it going to be like to respectfully put in your 2 weeks and your boss is just full of praise and so happy for you? It's possible. Some bosses are really cool. But either way, this goes towards constructing your vision and you drawing parallels as to whatever that looks like for you. Parents, what's it going to be like for you as a parent when you see your child evolve and grow into a person who sees the value in hard work and searching for answers and figuring things out for their dreams that they deem important for them? How emotionally crazy cool is that going to be for you? Your kids are much more likely to do what you do rather than what you say. They're going to sow into their kids whatever they're reaping from what you do. So suddenly you fire your boss, right? And now you got this new void to fill that lasts about 8, 9, 10, some of you 16 hours a day. That's quite a void to fill. You got any plans with what you're going to do with that time? Who are you going to spend that time with? What are you going to do? You got to have a big answer to that. If you never thought about that before, then it's going to be really tough. So this is an example of vision. Include your senses in on it, include how you feel, include how other people are going to be impacted, the planet, all these things, whether it's a dream you want to achieve, freedom, a problem you need to solve, you want to give more, contribute more. I have 4 parents. I've got siblings. I've got friends and family who I love and care about. I get to freely spend time with them all rather than pictures of them in an office cubicle. I just housed 9 families, this plus that, inside of a year and a half without taking food from their table. Yes! I just gave a bunch of money to the King's Ransom Foundation and the Gerson Clinic. The Gerson heals people from cancer and a bunch of other diseases using nature, no medical treatment whatsoever. They're nonprofit. The other one, King's Ransom, oh my God, they feed people who are starving to death. They take care of the elderly whose kids have forsaken them. They do all kinds of amazing things. Kids whose parents have been martyred. Wow. And 100% of all the donor money goes towards the cause. Not to mention, they also rescue children who are victims of the sex trade rings and human trafficking problems worldwide. I get to do more for all of those things because I have the time, the money, and the resources to do so, driven by a vision to make the how-to, the game plan actually work so those results could happen. You gotta start thinking in terms of your vision, not just why it's important to you, but what it's gonna be like, what life is gonna look like, the person you're gonna become, how you're gonna be remembered, with who you're gonna spend your time with, the experiences that you create with other people, with yourself if you're solo. All these things include sense of smell, sight, all of it. It's all part of your vision. And this is just the tip of the iceberg. I'm just getting started. I'm only 37 years old at the time of this video in June of 2015. And I just got started when I was 37 and a half years ago. There's a lot more I'm gonna do. There's no retiring from this. I only retire from the job racket because I don't like pyramid schemes. Yes, that's right. I called every job I ever had a pyramid scheme because every job for every company is a pyramid scheme. But I got another video on that. If you're interested in that, let me know. I'll share it with you, including your job. Oh my God, he said it. Tom, you did not just call my job a pyramid scheme. Your vision is gonna be the thing that makes number 3 work. Remember, number 3 was, what do you got to do to be able to get what you want? What skills you got to learn? How do you need to mature emotionally, spiritually, and all these other things? I'll tell you what, average thinking people think number 3 is all you need. Like, you know, the game plan, the how-to, just tell me what to do, show me what to do, and I'll do it. That's complete BS. If that were true, all of us would be living perfect lives. All of our dreams would be coming true. We'd be solving all of our problems, because no matter what it is that you want to do, there's volumes upon volumes of information out there, most of which is free. So that's not the issue. The issue is people lack a vision. People have this weak vision that has no balls or has no big breasts, ovary. That's just all it is. We've got these lame, weak visions, and we don't spend any time on it. In fact, we just focus on the results, which gets us nowhere. It's the day-to-day activities that gets the focus. It's the day-to-day activities that created your life where it's at right now. So if you want a different result, you have to focus on the activities. And if you don't focus on your vision, which is number 2 in this video, then you're not going to do the day-to-day activities, the game plan, the how-to, the getting whatever you need to get what you want. You just ain't going to do it. And the people that are, say, we'll just call them the top 2%, the top 1%, the top 0.1%, these are people that get how powerful a vision is. So they actually spend more time with that than they do focusing on the results or the game plan and the how-to. It's the truth. You want to know how somebody who goes from being poor to millionaire, billionaire, and all these other things? It's because they developed a really compelling vision. They had nothing working for them that average thinking says is a setup for success. They had all the opposite. They had no connections, maybe no education, no money, no free time. And some people, they figure it out anyway, driven by their vision. A vision that is big and that they hold so close to their heart that their heart would literally shatter into a million pieces if they don't do it. pushed around by pain in the beginning, but eventually matured themselves into a vision. That's pretty cool. You can do that too. You can draw a line in the sand anytime. And you don't even have to wait until you're at rock bottom, though human nature seems to be that way because it's just how we are. Not everybody has to wait till rock bottom. I don't know if you do. All I know is no matter where you're at, you can grow from where you've been planted. You can draw a line in the sand. You were born with the gift of being able to change your mind. You've done it before. You can do it again. You can change your mind in a way that is actually more serving of you and the other people around you. You can change your mind in a way that's actually in alignment with what you say your top priorities are. You can change your mind and no longer make stupid statements that just hurt you rather than help you. You can change your mind. Go back and watch this video again and actually write down what you want and develop a big, beautiful vision so that the game plan and the how-to will actually work this time. You can change your mind so that you don't skip over the vision, going straight to number 3, the game plan, the how-to, which will just fail again, just like it did last time and the time before that. You can totally change your mind and change everything. And if you make it about something other than just yourself and satisfying your own ego, who knows, that could fuel a lot of inspiration for you to maybe put your ego aside and write down what you want and write down what you need to get what you want, what you need to learn, a personal growth plan, if you will. And then develop that vision so that you see it through. Develop the vision so that when you get a phone call with some life emergency, some unexpected thing, that you're still going to stay on task and deal with the emergency, but it's not going to derail you. You're not going to use that or anything as a crutch to be lazy on your dreams or to be lazy on solving problems or to be lazy on setting yourself up to be able to contribute and create more impact. I mean, everyone gets those phone calls. Everyone has hard days. What happens to you happens to us all. I mean, life is a mix of good days and bad days. And we've all got our circumstances that we have no control over. But all of us have control over what we do with those circumstances. All of us have control with how we handle the facts of our lives. All of us have control with the energy that we give our situation. All of us have control with how we respond to what happens to us. That's it. So go back in this video. Number 1, what do you want? Number 3, what do you have to do to be able to get what you want? What's your plan of personal growth? And number 2, the most important one, the one that most people will miss, the one that most people don't think is important, the one that actually most people will use as a crutch unknowingly to perpetually cripple themselves in their life. Number 2, it's that vision. Why do you want what you want? What's your vision? What's life going to look like? Build that vision up so much that the game plan, the how-to, the personal growth plan is as good as done. Now you just got to live out the deal to make it happen, and there's nothing that can derail you. If you think there's still something out there that could possibly derail you, then you ain't done compelling a vision yet. You're not done. So keep building that vision. If you got value from this, go to my website, fireyourboss.xyz, poke around, cherry pick, use whatever you need to help you grow from wherever it is that you've been planted. I hope you got a ton of value from this. If you know somebody else who would like this, share it. Next video is coming soon. Bye everyone. Bye for now. Sounds of nature are so much more beautiful than the sound of an office cubicle.